The Helia Dominion had studied war for over 10,000 years. Their academies were older than most stars known to the Galactic Archive. Every maneuver had been catalogued, every weapon optimized, every casualty ratio mathematically justified. To the Helia, combat was not chaos. It was science. So when their border fleet encountered a human task force near the fractured nebula of Charon Reach, they expected a predictable outcome. They were wrong. 1. The science of war. Helia battle doctrine revolved around perfection. Formations were precise to the nanometer. Orders transmitted at light-tight intervals. Soldiers were bred, trained, and augmented for singular roles. No hesitation. No deviation. They had defeated dozens of species this way. Humans, according to the data, were biologically inferior. Short-lived, emotion-driven, fragmented politically. The Helia allowed the human ships to approach, to observe. 2. The first miscalculation. Human vessels did not form ranks. They drifted, adjusted, changed vectors constantly, as if undecided. Helia analysts flagged the behavior as inefficiency. Then the first human missile detonated inside a Helia command ship. Not near it, inside it. The projectile had altered course mid-flight using microthrusters, ignoring expected interception patterns. The Helia lost their command node in the opening second. Doctrine did not account for that. 3. Chaos as a weapon. Helia formations began corrective maneuvers. Humans pressed forward. Instead of focusing fire, human ships targeted systems, communications, logistics vessels, sensor arrays. The Helia fleet remained mostly intact and completely blind. That is not optimal, a Helia commander stated calmly. Then his ship went dark. 4. Their closing distance. The Helia believed range combat was superior. Humans disagreed. Human boarding craft attached, accelerating far beyond safe biological limits. Their trajectories were erratic, unpredictable. Collision risk exceeds acceptable loss thresholds, a Helia officer warned. Human transmissions answered, acceptable. The boarding pod struck like meteorites. 5. Humanity's finest. The Helia corridors had been designed for uniform, controlled engagements. Human warriors turned them into killing grounds. They moved without formation, without hesitation, adapting instantly to changing terrain. If a plan failed, they made a new one mid-motion. They used weapons until they broke. Then they used the environment. Then they used themselves. Helia soldiers froze. Their enemy was not following rules. They were inventing them. 6. Fear, an unstudied variable. Helia soldiers did not experience fear. They experienced error. But error cascaded. Human warriors advanced while wounded, fought while burning, continued while bleeding. They did not retreat when injured. They retreated only when objectives were complete. Helia tactical AIs began reporting anomalies. Enemy morale increasing under damage. That was impossible. 7. The duel. A Helia war champion confronted a human warrior in the central command chamber. The Helia struck first, perfect, precise, lethal. The human absorbed the blow, bones fracturing audibly. Then the human laughed. Is that it? The Helia paused. The human ended the duel. 8. The lesson. Within 30 minutes, Helia resistance collapsed. Not annihilated, broken. Human forces withdrew immediately after securing objectives. They did not pursue fleeing ships. They did not celebrate. They simply left. The Helia Dominion transmitted surrender terms 3 minutes later. 9. Analysis after defeat. Helia war scholars convened in silence. Humanity had violated every known principle of combat, and still won. One analyst finally spoke. They do not fight to dominate. Then why fight? Another asked. The answer was slow. They fight to finish. 10. What the galaxy learned. The Galactic Archive updated its threat models. Humanity was reclassified, not as the most advanced, not as the most powerful, but as the most adaptive. A warning was appended to every strategic simulation. Do not engage humans, assuming rules still apply. 11. Epilogue. Long after the battle, a Hellier cadet studied recorded footage. The cadet paused at a moment where a human warrior, wounded and surrounded, signaled retreat, not for himself, but for his unit. The cadet asked his instructor, "Why did they survive?" The instructor answered, "Because humans do not study combat as theory. They live it.